The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. These iconic words offer a vision of life lived in the embrace of a benevolent guide. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the frantic pace of the world, this video offers a moment of spiritual renewal. It reflects on the healing, protection, and overflowing cup promised to those who embrace the shepherd's care. This essay is called The Enduring Embrace. It's a Bible study project of Thomas E. Genders, copyright May 15th, 2025. Discovering Life's Provision in Psalm 23. Psalm 23, a mere 6 verses, holds a profound message capable of reshaping the landscape of your life. It's not a complex theological riddle or a hidden code, but rather a simple yet powerful truth woven into the tender imagery of a shepherd and his sheep. Unwavering trust in a loving and capable guide transforms fear into peace, lack into abundance, and isolation into abiding presence. This ancient song, attributed to King David, resonates across millennia because it speaks to the fundamental human need for security, provision, and companionship, a vision of life lived in the embrace of a benevolent shepherd. The psalm begins with the opening declaration, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." This isn't a passive statement of belief, it's an active claiming of a relationship. To declare the Lord as your shepherd is to acknowledge a personal connection with a caretaker who possesses the wisdom and resources to meet every need. It dismantles the illusion of self-sufficiency and invites a posture of humble dependence. When you truly internalize this, the anxieties fueled by the fear of lack begin to dissipate. You understand that your provision is not solely reliant on your own strength or the fickle circumstances of the world, but on the consistent care of a devoted shepherd. This fundamental shift in perspective fosters a deep sense of security, allowing you to release the relentless pursuit of more and find contentment in the present. The subsequent verses paint a vivid picture of the shepherd's care. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. The imagery evokes tranquility and nourishment. The green pastures symbolize abundance and sustenance, while the quiet waters represent peace and refreshment. The shepherd doesn't drive or neglect his flock. He gently leads them to places of rest and restoration. Similarly, when we trust our lives to this guiding presence, we are led away from the frantic pace and draining anxieties of the world towards spaces of inner peace and spiritual renewal. The restoration of the soul speaks to a deep healing, a mending of the inner self that comes from being nurtured and cared for. This isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing process of being replenished and revitalized under the shepherd's watchful eye. Even in the face of life's inevitable challenges, the secret of Psalm 23 holds firm. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The valley of the shadow of death represents our darkest moments, times of grief, fear, and uncertainty. Yet the psalm declares that even here, in the midst of terrifying landscapes, fear loses its grip because the shepherd's unwavering presence. The rod and staff are instruments of protection and guidance. The rod, used to ward off danger, signifies the shepherd's defense against external threats. The staff, used to guide and support, symbolizes his constant direction and care. Knowing that we are not alone in our struggles, that a powerful and loving presence walks with us, brings profound comfort and courage, transforming the valley of despair into a passage rather than a final destination. The psalm continues with an unexpected image. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. This speaks of a divine provision that transcends even hostile circumstances. The shepherd not only protects, but also abundantly blesses, even when surrounded by opposition. The prepared table signifies provision and victory, a demonstration that even in the face of adversity, we are sustained and honored. The anointing with oil symbolizes favor, healing, and consecration, while the overflowing cup speaks of an abundance that surpasses our needs. This verse reveals that trusting in a shepherd doesn't exempt us from challenges, but it guarantees that even amidst them, we will experience blessing and abundance. The final verse encapsulates the enduring nature of this transformative trust. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Goodness and mercy are not fleeting favors, but faithful companions that pursue us throughout our earthly journey. This speaks to a life lived under a constant stream of divine grace and loving kindness. The ultimate promise, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever, offers a vision of eternal security and abiding presence in the shepherd's care. Psalm 23, therefore, is not a magical formula, but a fundamental shift in our understanding of life and our place in it. It is the profound realization that we are not alone, adrift in a chaotic world, but are instead cherished members of a flock guided by a loving and all-sufficient shepherd. By embracing this truth, by actively trusting in the power greater than ourselves, a power that provides, protects, guides, and loves us unconditionally, we can move from fear to peace, from lack to abundance, and from isolation to a deep and abiding sense of belonging. This enduring embrace of the shepherd is the reason that Jesus can truly change lives forever. I produced this essay in March to include in a book that I published on Amazon called From a Doubting Thomas to Daily Grace. I invite you to look it up and read the book. It's well worth the time. Thank you.